In this video, I am going to show you how to solve a rational inequality. So let us take x plus 4 all over x minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. Ito guys, itong rational inequality na to, tinawag siyang rational inequality kasi as you can see, ito ay in a form of fraction or ratio. Okay? Tapos, gumamit siya ng symbol ng inequality symbol or hindi siya equal sign. Kaya ang tawag sa buong expression na to or mathematical equation na to ay rational inequality. Okay? So, paano ba mag-solve ng or mag-evaluate ng rational inequality? Ang gagawin nyo is you have to get the zeros of the numerator and then the denominator. So, kunin ko muna, paano ba kunin ang zeros ng numerator at saka denominator? So, ang numerator ko rito ay x plus 4 and then ang denominator natin ay x minus 1. Okay? So, to get the zeros, you will equate this to 0. And then, hanapin nyo yung value ng x. So, in this case, lipat ko si positive 4 sa kanan. So, magiging negative 4 siya. Okay? And then, ito naman ay positive 1. So, meron na tayong 0 sa numerator. Ito naman yung 0 ng denominator. After nyo makuha yung zeros ng numerator and denominator, itetest nyo siya kung magto-true or false ba siya doon sa rational inequality. So, unahin natin itong numerator na negative 4. So, isasalpak ko siya sa value ng x dito sa ating rational inequality. So, magiging negative 4 plus 4 over negative 4 minus 1. So, basically, pinalitan ko lang yung value ng x nitong nakuha ko na zeros ng numerator. Okay? And then, so, i-evaluate natin to, negative 4 plus 4, that is 0 over negative 5. Okay, negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5, is less than or equal to 0. 0 divided by negative 5 is 0. Any number divided by, 0 divided by any number is 0. So, less than or equal to 0. Etong statement na to guys is true because of the equal sign here. 0 is equal to 0. Kaya itong statement na to para sa numerator ay true. Pagka true to, ibig sabihin, this one is an included point. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nasa-satisfy niya yung rational inequality. Okay? And then the next one, itest naman natin si positive 1 ng denominator. So, i-input ko siya doon sa value ng x. So, I will have 1 plus 4 over 1 minus 1 less than or equal to 0. So, this one is 5 over 0 less than or equal to 0. Alam natin na any number divided by 0 is undefined. Okay? So, kung undefined to, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pwedeng maging 0 yung ilalim. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ko pwedeng lagyan ng positive 1 yung value ng x dito dahil magiging 0 yung ilalim, which will be undefined. So, which will make the rational inequality undefined. So, ang gagawin natin, hindi siya included, si 1. Okay? So, alam na natin kung sino yung true at sino yung false. Okay? So, ito ay false, guys, kasi undefined siya. Now, ang gagawin natin, igagraph natin kung nasaan yung mga values na yan. So, ito, negative 4, nandito siya. Tansyahan lang to guys, negative 4. Siyempre, ang 1 ay nasa kanan ng 4 kasi mas malaki siya. Okay? Ngayon, alam na natin na yung negative 4 ay nag-true. Therefore, yung point na yan, kasali siya. Okay? Included yung point. Ito, undefined or false. Therefore, itong 1 na to, ito kasi para dito, ito naman ay ito. Okay? So, yung 1 na yan ay false. So, therefore, hindi siya kasali. So, ano nyo lang yung symbol niya na parang hollow. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya kasali. So, we have 3 intervals. This interval, this one, and then this 2. After nyan, itetest nyo yung bawat interval. Okay? So, mamimili kayong numbers between negative infinity hanggang negative 4. Yun yung first interval. Mamimili kayo ng number between negative 4 and 1. That is the second interval. And mamimili kayo ng number between 1 and positive infinity. So, that is the third interval. So, dito, pwede nating piliin negative 5. Ma'am, pwede ba negative 7, negative 1 million? Pwede, guys. Okay? Basta nasa gitna ng first interval or ng intervals ninyo. So, ang nasa gitna nila, ni negative infinity at negative 4. So, ang pinili ko ay negative 5. Okay? And then dito, piliin na natin yung 0. Nasa gitna nila yan. Pagka mapipili nyo yung 0, guys, piliin nyo siya kasi mas madali. Para i-0 nyo na yung x kagad. Okay? Pero pwede rin namang iba. It's up to you. Okay, and then dito, ang pipiliin ko na lang ay, sige, 4. Para medyo malayo. Okay, so, between here, 1 up to positive infinity, ang pipiliin ko ay 4. And then, I will test each of the intervals. So, dito muna tayo sa negative 5. I-test ko siya para kay x plus 4. Okay, over x minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. Yan yung rational inequality natin. So, sasalpak ko to sa value ng x. So, I will have negative 5 plus 4 over negative 5 minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. Okay? Now, this one would be negative 1. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1 over negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. Less than or equal to 0. Now, this one is negative over negative. So, ang sagot ay positive 1 over 6. Tama? Okay? So, ibig sabihin nito guys, false to. Kasi, positive 1 over 6 is not less than or equal to 0. Mas malaki yan kesa sa 0. So, false yung unang interval natin. Okay? And then, the next one would be 0 interval. I mean, the second interval, yung napili natin is 0. So, yan naman yung sasalpa ko dun sa x. So, magiging 0 plus 4 over 0 minus 1 less than or equal to 0. So, this one is 4 over negative 1 less than or equal to 0. So, 4 over negative 1 is negative 4 less than or equal to 0. Indeed, negative 4 is less than or equal to 0. Less than 0 yan, guys. Ito. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, this one is true. Okay? And then, the last one would be 4. Ito, yung napili ko na number para dito. So, I will put that to the value of x. So, 4 plus 4 over 4 minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. So, 4 plus 4 is 8 over 3. Okay, this one is false again kasi any positive number that is greater than 0. So, 8 thirds less than 0, false yun. Kasi mas malaki ang 8 thirds kesa sa 0. Okay, so ang mga napansin natin, ito yung false. So, ibig sabihin, ito lahat ng interval dito ay hindi kasali. Hindi rin kasali ito. So, ito lang yung nag-true. Itong interval na to. Meaning, lahat ng mga numbers na nasa gitna ng interval na to, guys, ay magsasatisfy dito sa ating rational inequality. So, meaning, ang magiging sagot natin is between negative 4 and 1. Okay? So, paano naman ang symbol na gagamitin ninyo? Since yung negative 4 natin dito ay included, shaded kasi siya. Okay? Kung shaded siya, ang gagamitin nyo ay ayan, yung symbol na yan. Okay? Ngayon, ang gagamitin nyo naman, kung hindi siya kasali, ito, katulad nitong 1 na to, ang gagamitin yung symbol is parenthesis. Okay? So, we will have negative 4 to 1. But, negative 4 is included, and then, positive 1 is not included. So, ito yung magiging final answer natin. Okay? Let's have second example. So, let us have x squared plus 3x all over 2x minus 1 is greater than 0. Okay. So, as you can see, quadratic yung ating numerator. So, kailangan natin siyang i-factor bago natin kuhain yung zeros ng numerator and denominator. So, ang common term nila is x. So, ano ko yung x, i-extract ko yung x. So, ang magiging sagot ay x times x plus 3. Okay, over 2x minus 1 is greater than 0. So, pagka binalik mo to, dapat babalik siya dito. So, x times x is x squared. And then, x times 3 is 3x. So, parehas lang yan. Finactor out natin. So, now we will get the value of the zeros sa numerator and then sa denominator. So, kung squared siya, ibig sabihin may dalawang roots yan. Okay? Dalawang zeros. So, yung una, x. Yung pangalawa, x plus 3. Ayan, silang dalawa. Okay? So, yung x, equate natin sa 0. Si x plus 3, equate din sa 0. So, ito, meron na tayong sagot. X plus 0. Ito, i-transpose, so magiging negative 3. Ayan. So, meron tayong dalawa sa numerator. And then, denominator, 2x minus 1 equals 0. So, lipat doon, magiging 2x plus 1, equals positive 1. So, divide both sides by 2. So, ang 0 ng denominator ay 1/2. Okay? So, meron na tayong zeros. Now, i-test natin kung kasali ba siya or hindi siya kasali, kung included ba yung value or hindi. Okay? So, I will input muna si 0. So, itest ko muna si 0. Dito, input ko siya dito. So, 0 squared plus 3 times 0 over 2 times 0 minus 1 greater than 0. So, obviously, this one is 0 over negative 1. Okay? So, 0 over negative 1 is 0, greater than 0. 0 is not greater than 0. Equal sila. So, this one is false. Okay? Ito guys, nag-true yung kanina. Ayan. Ito. Yan, ito. Nag-true yan guys kasi may equal na sign sa ilalim. Kaya nag-true siya. But in this case, wala naman yung equal sign sa ilalim. So, 0 is not greater than 0. Hindi yan mas mataas sa 0. Equal lang sila. So, false yan. Okay? So, tapos na to. Next one, si negative 3. So, that would be negative 3 squared plus 3 times negative 3 over 2 times negative 3 minus 1 greater than 0. So, negative 3 squared is 9. Okay? Then, 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 over negative 6 minus 1 greater than 0. So, this one is 0 over negative 7. Again, 0 greater than 0, false na naman yan. Okay? Kasi, hindi naman mas malaki ang 0 sa 0. Equal lang sila. Okay? Next one, itong huli, x is raised to 1, x is equal to 1 half. So, I will put that at the value of x. So, x squared. So, ayang x squared na yan, magiging 1 half squared plus 3 times 1 half all over 2 times 1 half minus 1 greater than 0. Okay? So, 1 half raised to 2 is 1/4 plus 3 halves all over. So, ito canceled. Magiging 1 minus 1 greater than 0. Again, this one is a number. Kahit hindi nyo na-isolve yung number sa taas, yung ilalim niya guys, 0 na, kaya undefined siya. Okay? Pag undefined, false yun, syempre. Hindi siya pwedeng maging value. Alam nyo ang clue nyo dyan guys? Yung 0 ng denominator, always yan, hindi siya kasali. Palagi yun. Kasi it will make the denominator equal to 0. Pero kapag ka numerator, kahit hindi nyo na-itest, basta walang equal sign dito, okay? Basta walang equal sign, ano yun? Diretso na yun, hindi siya included. Pero pag may equal sign na ganyan, automatic included siya. Yun ang shortcut dun, guys. Okay? Pero ito yung long cut niya. Okay, now, burahin ko to. So, na-test na natin, false sila lahat. Ibig sabihin, lahat sila ay hindi kasali. So, i-graph na natin siya. Okay? So, si negative 3, andito siya. Sunod si 0. Ihilera nyo siya, guys, in ascending order, papataas. So, negative 3, pinakamaliit. Sunod 0. Sunod 1 half. Ayan. And then, mamili tayo ng number. So, lahat sila false. So, therefore, hollow lang lahat. Hindi sila lahat kasali. So, meron akong 4 na interval. Ito, and then ito. Okay? So, mamimili ako, ito negative 4 na lang. Ito, I will have negative 1. And then dito, I will have, ano ba yung mas maliit sa 1 half? Let's have 1/4. Okay? Or 0.1 na nga lang. Ayan, para mas mabilis i-calculate. So, 0.1. And then, the last one, so 1 half is, let's have 2 na lang. Ayan, nasa kanan naman yan ng 1 half. Actually, pwedeng 1. Sige, 1 na lang. Ayan. Okay, so test natin yung negative 4. So, this one would be negative 4 squared plus 3 times negative 4 all over 2 times negative 4 minus 1 greater than 0. So, negative 4 squared is 16 minus 12 over negative 8 minus 1 greater than 0. So, 16 minus 12 is 4 over negative 9. So, obviously, guys, negative ang lalabas. Negative number is greater than 0 daw. False yun. Okay? Mas malaki ang 0 kaysa sa negative 4 over 9. So, false yung una. Okay? Next interval. So, false to. Hindi kasali to. Ayan. So, yung negative 1 naman. So, I will have negative 1 squared plus 3 times negative 1 all over 2 times negative 1 minus 1 greater than 0. So, 1 minus 3 over negative 2 minus 1. Okay, so this one would be negative 2 over negative 3. Negative divided by negative, that will give you a positive answer, 2/3. So this one is true. Okay, 2/3 is greater than 0. So true to, kasali to. Okay? So kasali ang interval na yan. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng numbers na nasa gitna niyan ay masasatisfy niya yung greater than 0 na to. Okay? Next one, burahin ko ulit to. Ayan, so dito na tayo sa 0.1. So 0.1 is yung sa third interval, 0.1 squared plus 3 times 0.1 all over 2 times 0.1 minus 1 greater than 0. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin guys, pwedeng i-calculate nyo yan. So i-calculate natin siya. So, 0.1 squared, okay, plus 3 times 0.1 over 2 times 0.1 minus 1. So, ang lalabas ay negative number. So, negative 31 over 80 greater than 0. So, this one is false. Okay? Mas malaki ang 0 kaysa sa negative number. So, false yan. Again, false na naman to. And then, let us test the last interval, which is 1. So, 1 squared plus 3 times 1 over 2 times 1 minus 1 greater than 0. So, 1 squared is 1 plus 3 over 2 minus 1. So, this one is 4 over 1. Again, 4 is greater than 4. So, true to. Positive number is always greater than 0. So, kasali to guys. So, ang mga naging true, so ang final answer natin sa rational inequality na to is, so ang interval ng 3, negative 3 to 0, so lagay natin, negative 3, 0. So, pareha silang false kanina, di ba? So, hollow to, hollow din to. Ayan, ito, tsaka to, hollow din. So, ang gagamitin nyo ay parenthesis. Okay? Yun. Okay? Ito, skip natin to. So, ang sunod na interval ay ito. So, si 1/2, hollow din siya, kaya parenthesis din. And then, hanggang positive infinity na siya. Ito kasi guys, negative infinity. Ito, positive infinity. Okay, ang infinity, ang gagamitin niyang symbol is parenthesis pa rin. Okay, so that is our final answer. Now, let us have the third example. Okay, let's have 1 over x minus 3 less than or equal to 5 over x minus 3. Okay? So, ito guys, hindi siya sa 0. So, kailangan gagawin yung 0 yung nasa isang side niya. So, lilipat ko to, magiging 1 over x minus 3 minus 5 over x minus 3. So, from positive, magiging negative siya. Less than or equal to, ayan, 0 na siya. Kailangan kasi guys, 0 yung nasa isang side. Okay? So, pareha sila ng denominator. Ibig sabihin, pwede natin silang pagsamahin in a single fraction. So, that would be 1 minus 5. Nasa taas. Ayan, 1 minus 5. So, this one is 4 over x minus 3. Less than or equal to 0. Ay, negative 4. Sorry. Ayan. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So, as you can see, isa lang yung itetest natin or hanapin natin yung 0, yung denominator lang. Okay, so x minus 3, equate ko siya sa 0. So, lipat to, that would be positive 3. Okay, ang shortcut, sabi ko sa inyo guys, pag 0 ng denominator, automatic, hindi siya included. Kasi nga, magiging undefined yung function. Okay, so, yung 3 na yan, nag-iisa lang siya. So, lagay nyo na lang siya sa gitna. Tapos, not included pa siya kasi denominator siya. Okay, so I have two intervals, negative infinity to positive 3, at saka positive 3 to positive infinity. So, pili ako. Dito, pipiliin ko ay 0. Dito ay 5. Ayan. So, ito ang gamitin natin. Ay, hindi. Ito pala, yan. So, negative 4 over x minus 3 is 0 minus 3. So, ito na. Sinalpa ko na to. Okay, less than or equal to 0. So, negative 4 over negative 3 less than or equal to 0. So, this one is positive 4/3. Okay, so false to. Kasi mas malaki ang positive number kaysa sa 0. So, false to. Okay? Test naman natin yung 5. So, that would be negative 4 over 5 minus 3 less than or equal to 0. So, this one would be negative 4 over positive 2 Okay, so this one is negative 2 less than or equal to 0. This one is true. So, ang interval na nag-true is 3 hanggang positive infinity. So, pag positive or negative infinity, ang gagamitin nyo, symbol niya ay parenthesis. So, the final answer is this one. Okay, let us have the last example of evaluating rational inequalities or solving rational inequality. So, ito guys, again, ililipat natin yung 2 over x plus 2 sa kabila para maging 0 yung isang side. So, magiging 1 over x and that would be minus 2 all over x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. So, again, may dalawa tayong fraction so kailangan maging isa lang sila. You will get the GCF. Pagsasamahin kasi natin sila sa isang fraction. Yung kanina, madali natin siyang napagsama kasi they have the same denominator. Kaya pinag-isa na lang siya. Parang ano lang kasi yan, guys. Like, di ba, halimbawa, I have 1 half plus 1 half. Yan. Di ba, kakopy mo lang yung denominator. Kasi same lang naman sila ng denominator. So, tapos, i-add mo lang yung nasa taas. Di ba? Kaya ganun. Pero pag magkaiba ng denominator, you will get the GCF. So, ang GCF nito, syempre, ay x times x plus 2. So, imumultiply natin to sa x times x plus 2 and that would be our new denominator. So, so both sides, we will multiply by x and then x plus 2. Ayan. Dito rin, x times x plus 2. So, ito munang first term, when I multiplied x times x plus 2 by 1 over x, so makakancel si x, ang matitira si 1, tsaka x plus 2. So, 1, tsaka x plus 2. Okay? Second term naman, so, makakancel naman si x plus 2. Ayan. So, ang matitira ay negative 2 at tsaka x. So, negative 2 times x. Okay? So, ang magiging formula natin, ang magiging rational inequality natin ay x plus 2 minus 2x all over x times x plus 2. Huwag nyo na itong i-factor. Huwag nyo na itong i-expand. Ganyan. Kasi, mamaya, i-factor out nyo rin yan to get the zeros. Okay? So, i-simplify lang yung numerator. So, x minus 2x is negative x. So, negative x plus 2 all over x times x plus 2. Greater than or equal to 0. Ayan. So, kunin na natin yung zeros ng numerator at saka ng denominator. So, sa numerator, I have only 1, 0. Ayan. So, lipat ko si negative 2. Si positive 2, magiging negative 2 siya. Divide both sides by negative 1 to get the value of x. So, ang x natin dito ay positive 2. Okay? And then, sa denominator naman, we have 2, yung x. Okay, at saka yung x plus 2. Ayan. So, ito yung una, ito yung pangalawa. Okay, so, equate nyo pareha sa 0. Ito, ayan na yun. X is equal to 0. Yung isa naman, transpose pa si 2. So, negative 2. Okay? Ngayon, igagraph nyo na siya, guys. So, remember yung sinabi kong shortcut. So, ihilera muna natin sila, ascending order. So, I have negative 2. Yan, yung pinakamaliit. Sunod si 0. Sunod si 2. Okay? So, ang denominator, ang zeros ng denominator natin, dalawa. Sabi ko kanina, ang shortcut nyo guys, pag i-graph ninyo siya, ang denominator palaging not included. Kaya itong 0 na to, at saka itong negative 2 na to, parehas yan na hollow. Ayan, hollow yan, hollow din to. Kasi the points are not included. Ibig sabihin nun kasi guys, gagawin niyang undefined yung rational inequality natin. So, hindi natin isasama yung 0 and negative 2. Okay? Ito namang numerator, ang shortcut dito. So, pag denominator, ulitin ko lang. Pag denominator, automatic, guys, hollow, not included. I-take note nyo yun, guys. Pag denominator, okay, yung point or yung zeros na nakuha ninyo, not included. Automatic yun. Okay? Not included. Okay? Kapag naman numerator, so ang numerator natin dito ay 2, di ba? So, paano natin malalaman kung included siya or not included? Kahit, hindi nyo ititest nang hindi tinitest. So, paano nyo malalaman nang hindi tinitest? Titignan nyo yung rational inequality symbol. Pag may equal, okay? Pag may equal, yung nasa symbol nyo, included yun, guys. So, pag ang ginamit ay ito, at saka ito, included yan. Okay? So, yung 2 na yan would be included. Kasi kahit i-test mo yan, mag-i-include siya. Kasi 0 is greater than or equal to 0 because of the equal sign. Ganun lang yun. Pero pag wala siyang equal sign, not included siya. Okay, so pag ang ginamit sa numerator ay greater than or less than lang, yan, not included yan. Okay? So, yan yung para kay numerator. Pero pag denominator, guys, madali. Palaging not included. Wala siyang, ano ba to? Wala siyang kinoconsider na factor. Okay? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 intervals. So, 4 yung interval natin. Medyo habaan natin to para magkaroon siya ng maraming space sa positive infinity. Okay, so ang una nating interval is negative infinity to negative 2. Sunod, negative 2 to 0. Sunod, 0 to 2. And then 2 to positive infinity. Okay, so pili ako ng number. Ang gusto kong number dito sa first interval ay negative 3 na lang. Dito ay negative 1. Dito ay positive 1. And then dito ay positive 3 na lang. Ayan, yung pinakamalalapit na lang. So, unahin ko si negative 3. Ito guys, pwede nyong gamitin kahit alin dyan. Ayan, kahit alin dyan, ito, pwede rin. Pero mas madali, gagamitin nyo, yung nasa dulo na lang. Okay? So, it's up to you. Pwede nyong gamitin tong ibabaw. Ito, tong pinagmulan niya. Okay, pwede yan. Pero ito na lang, mas madali. Okay? So, negative, ayan, ito yung gagamitin ko ha. So, negative x, so yung negative niyan, times negative 3. So, ito yung titest ko muna. Ayan. Itong negative na to, tandaan, dito yan galing. Tapos, pinalitan ko yung x ng negative 3. Kaya magkakaroon kayo ng dalawang negative sign. Okay? So, plus 2 all over negative 3 times negative 3 plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. So, this one is positive 3 na plus 2 over negative 3 times negative 1 greater than or equal to 0. So, 5 over positive 3 is greater than or equal to 0. True yan. Diba? Kasi 5/3 is greater than 0. Positive siya eh. So, true tong interval na to. Ayan. Okay, next interval, I will use negative 1. So, ito yung mga values na pinili ko ha. Ayan. So, ang gagamitin ko naman, negative 1. So, salpak ko siya ulit doon. So, negative x. So, negative times negative 1 plus 2 over negative 1 times negative 1 plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. So, positive 1 plus 2 over negative 1 times 1 greater than or equal to 0. So, this one is 1 over negative, 3 pala to guys. 3 over negative 1. Okay, so that is negative 3 greater than or equal to 0. That is false. Diba? Kasi negative 3 is not greater than 1. Not greater than 0. Mas malaki ang 0 kaysa negative number. Okay? So, let's have the last two intervals. Sobrahin ko na yan. So, yung 1 naman, test natin yung 1. So, negative. Then, yung x ay 1 plus 2 over 1 times 1 plus 2 greater than or equal to 0. So, this one is 1 over 1 times 3. Okay, so 1 over 3 is greater than 0. That is true. 1/3 is greater than 0. Okay, kasi positive siya. So, true to. Okay, and then the last one is 3, yung testing value natin. So, negative 3 plus 2 over 3 times 3 plus 2 greater than or equal to 0. So, yung numerator ay negative 1 over 3 times 5. Okay, so negative 1 over 15. False yan. Kasi negative 1 over 15 is not greater than 0. So, this one is false. So, ano yung mga interval na nag-true? So, ang mga interval na nag-true is, so ito yung answer natin. Wait lang, ayan. So, ang answer natin, so ang mga interval na nag-true ay negative infinity to negative 2. Okay? Ngayon, ang gagamitin natin symbol sa negative and positive infinity ay parenthesis. Not included yung 2, di ba? So, parenthesis din siya. So, ang parenthesis, guys, ginagamit siya kapag positive and negative infinity at saka sa mga not included points. Okay? And then union, nag-union tayo kasi dalawa yung true natin. Okay? So, yung next interval is 0 hanggang 2. So, yung 0 not included, therefore, yan ang gagamitin. 2 is included, so ito ang gagamitin. Okay? So, the final answer is this one. Ayan ang sagot natin. So, that is how you evaluate rational inequalities.